Hey guys, I was just coming with this video today to show you guys this glorious piece of work. This helmet is a casting done by Daily Designs. You can find him on Facebook. I believe he goes by Doc Daily on the 405th. But basically this is a video about it, how I put it together, the paint job, the whole 9 yards. So basically I got this helmet from him. One of my friends tagged me in a post of the first cast that he pulled, and then I guess the mold ended up ripping, and so I ended up getting this from him after he remade the mold, and this was the first pull from it. This thing was extremely clean. There was maybe three seams, and I kid you not, it maybe took me 20 to 30 seconds to sand all of them down. Not even that. But after that, I cut out the bottom and cut the visor piece out where that was where it was at. It was all solid, except for the bottom. The bottom had a little bit of a hole, but I ended up having to cut it out, which is no big deal. I mean, you would expect that, getting that from anybody. But then what I did is I sanded down the outside with a fine grit just a little bit so the primer would hold a little bit better. I did 3 coats of primer, and then I did 3 coats of silver, and then what I did to hold certain areas off while I did the silver is I put mustard on it. So it sounds kind of silly, but like right along here, I put it right along here and here, not there, around here. I think I had it over here on this corner, right there, and then after doing the 3 coats of silver and then putting the mustard on there, I then hit it with the 3 coats of the metallic black that you see on there now. Also, I put the mustard through here and here, around here, on this side, and on the bottom corner right there. I did the 3 coats, and then I just wiped it all off, and as you guys can see in some of these pictures, the progression that went along with this. But yeah, I wiped it off, and then after that I completely taped off everything except for those small lines. A lot of people talk to me about blackwashing it instead of taping that off, and I probably would have done that if I would have thought about it before doing it. But you know, it's a learning process doing this kind of stuff. And then I did the same thing with the Mohawk since there wasn't that much to tape off. I actually got an airbrush now, and I could have used that, but I didn't have it at the time that I was doing this. And I was kind of impatient in getting it done. After I had that, I mean, I finished the helmet, and then I did the Mohawk after that. So, I mean, I weathered it with acrylic black paint. You know, I made sure I got in all the creases, and it actually ended up turning out really well. It turned out real good, and I wanted some more silver on there. So what I just did, I mean, you'll see in any weathering tutorial video where they spray paint the side of a brush and just drag it along the edges real quick. That's what I did on these edges right here. Let me get this in the light a little bit better. Like on all these edges, like right there, right through here, right through there. What side was it on? Right here. Sorry, this is turning out. I'm using my phone to do this. Right there on that side, on the back. Just anywhere where I would think there would be wear, especially on the hard edges. I ended up hitting it with that, with the silver. And then I did the same with all this. You know, right through here. I kind of hit it. You know, took the side of a brush and just rubbed it along like that. So it actually ended up turning out really good. I'd say when I got the paint done on the helmet, I did the internals. I mean, there's not much to it. I went on Amazon and I got this padding right here. I might end up putting some more back here because of the added weight of the Mohawk. And then I've got a fan in there. It actually does pretty well. And then what I did, the tint and the visor were separate. It's not sticky tint. It's something, it's just like a sheet. So what I did was I took double-sided tape and I put it in there. And then I put hot glue around the edges. Like there's a little lip on the visor. It's just like maybe like a 1/4 inch. And I put hot glue on it. Just a little bit. And then I just stuck it in there. I held it in there, kept it there for probably about 2 minutes. And then once it stayed there and didn't pop out, I mean, it didn't even pop out at all. There was no trial and error with it. I mean, it went right in. And then I just, if you can see right in there, I got hot glue and I just put it along the edges right here, and I got a toothpick and just brushed it up on the sides. So I mean, it's not going anywhere. Like I'm pushing on the front of it. But the visor, the outside of the visor is vacuum formed, and then the tint is separate. So I mean, that's it, guys. It was really easy to put together. How I mounted the Mohawk was, I'm not sure if you can see that out down in there. I got wooden dowels. I drilled 3 holes. I drilled 3 holes down in there, and then once I did that, sorry, I put the Mohawk on top, and I turned it upside down, made sure it was where I wanted it to be, and then I took like a screwdriver and just stuck it through the hole in the helmet and scratched the paint off of the bottom of the Mohawk. So then it marked basically where I needed the holes to be for the Mohawk. And go figure, messing up just a little bit, one of the holes was slightly offset, and I had to tap it in there pretty hard with the end of a screwdriver. And it took some paint off of the front. I've got it covered up with some acrylic. I need to kind of wipe off a little bit. It looks like it's too blotchy, but there's some scuff marks right in there. You just can't really tell too much. So, I mean, but it ended up holding it in place a lot easier than I thought it would. And I just took the epoxy and I got, I'm trying to think of how to describe it. I went to Walmart and got this pack of brushes, and in it, it's almost like the little sticks that you have that come with like Halloween makeup. It's like a plastic stick, and then it's got like a little Q-tip end on it, but the Q-tip's kind of like a sponge. It was one of those, so I just took the epoxy and put it on the end of that and started rubbing it around those dowels down in there. I'm not sure you can see them. And then basically I was just making sure it was touching the dowel and touching the plastic. It was a plastic epoxy, but it also works on wood. And I mean, honestly, I probably wouldn't even needed it the way I had to hammer that thing in there. I mean, it was a mistake, but it worked out in my benefit, which is a godsend. But that's pretty much it. Like I said, it's an awesome helmet. Let me flip the camera around here for you. Let's see, you get a little bit of a closer look at it. Let me set it down here and get it in some light. It looks a lot better outside in natural lighting, but I mean, you can see the green on it. And like, I was kind of upset that the green wasn't as bright as I wanted it to be, but it all worked out. I mean, you know, nothing's gonna work out perfect. And I did do like little blood splatter, like you can see that right there. How I did that is I took one of the paintbrushes that I have, and I would get some acrylic paint on there, and I'd sling it on there. And at first that was a mistake, because I did not want that much in one single spot. So I was like, crap, so what do I do with it? And one of the ways that I was getting this stuff to dry so quick is I kind of have like a heat lamp, but it's also like my workstation lamp. So it's like, you know, just makeshift, make it work type of thing. But it ended up just drying the edges of this out. And I saw that, and I was like, well, let me just wipe it over real quick. And it just took out these centers, so it looked like dried blood. You know, like bubbles were there or something, you know. And, you know, there's some down in there. And then I've got some like hunter blood right there. I didn't want to do it too much. Like you can see some of the blue there, right there. I didn't want it to be everywhere. I didn't want it to look too cheesy. Like even the blood idea in itself kind of made me wonder if I should even do it, because I didn't want to ruin it. But I mean, it came out pretty good. But I mean, the quality of this thing is awesome. I mean, it's thick. It's, I mean, you know, I mean, of course, I mean, this isn't solid. But, I mean, let me give you an example of how thick it is. Right there with the edge of it right there, which I kind of do have some touch-ups to do on the back where it usually sits if I just lay it somewhere. But let me show you it on real quick.
But I mean, there it is, and it feels perfect. It fits perfect. I mean, I know the padding I put in it helps out. There's probably some more I'm gonna put in because it wobbles around a little bit, especially on the back, because most of the weight from this is on the back, even though it's not solid. But I mean, it's perfect. I mean, I've got a fan in here. I mean, even without the fan, it doesn't get too hot. So I mean, it's nice. The only thing with the fan is it kind of keeps me from hearing people too well. But it's a really good helmet.
You should definitely check him out. His name's Doc Daly on hold on. His name's Doc Daly on the 405th, I believe, and then his Facebook page is Doc Daily Designs, and he's actually working on a new helmet right now. I think it's called the Buccaneer. I'm not too familiar with it, but the entire front is a visor, and behind the visor is like a skull, and then it's blue lights. So it looks really cool. But I would have gotten it if I wasn't already didn't already have that one. Excuse me. But it's nice. He does really good work. He has other props as well, weapons and so on and so forth. He's a really creative, really nice guy. I mean, I think it took me about a month to get this, and he was really cool about it. It was running behind, which I wasn't in any rush. I mean, he had to redo the mold for it and recast it, and he was having troubles with supplies. So, I mean, as long as you're not, bugging him every week for a progress update or pictures of what he's got done so far, he's a pretty cool guy. I mean, stuff like this takes a while, so, but you should definitely check him out.